Welcome everyone. This is our 17th episode of World Talent Economy Forum. We are moving around the world and we trying to getting feedback from Silicon Valley, from Europe, from Asia. Now time for Africa. We have one of the talented guy from Africa. He is Mr. Kelvin and he has a lot of jobs and lot of activities in Africa. He working with youth talent people, he developing artificial intelligence, and he is trying to change AI and these kind of things. And most important thing is that they are facing COVID-19 situation and challenge. First thing first, can you please introduce yourself? Mr. Kelvin, can you hear me?
Okay, I'm Kelvin Ogba Dafiago, the founder of the Artificial Intelligence Hub and the Ogba Educational Clinic. I'm also the chief promoter of artificial intelligence in Africa. My vision is to domesticate the knowledge of artificial intelligence in Africa. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Your next question, please.
Okay. My next question, what's the present condition of Africa?
In terms of COVID-19?
Yes.
The COVID situation in Africa is not like what we see in Europe and other parts of the world. The death rate has not been so high. We've been taking some precautions. There are rumors of inflated numbers of people that predicted by Melinda Gates. So for now, we're just trying to return back to normal. And those who went through some treatment said it's all similar to malaria. You know, in Africa, malaria has always been a problem. So we're used to malaria, and they said most of the drugs that were used to treat them were similar to malaria drugs. So we've always been treating malaria. As I speak to you, I'm on malaria drugs myself. So it's not something that is new to us. We have been into it in and out, in and out, in and out for a long time. So I guess there's something in the African man that is not compatible with COVID-19.
One thing, I want your brief history of artificial intelligence, your schools and your activities. Can you just continue? Very good. I think your headphone is not with you. That is the problem. Anyway, okay. So can you please continue about
your? I can hear you.
Yes, your AI school. Yes, that is the thing. Your AI school. We want to know about your AI school.
Okay, the AI school was founded so as to teach and train kids for future job skills. You see, this is in line with the last World Economic Forum, where Ivanka Trump was telling us that we need to prepare kids, children, people with future job skills, because the job fair is changing. Everything about job is changing. Remember, Jack Moore made us to understand that the educational system is jinxed, and everything being taught in the school today are going to be done by the robots. So we need to teach our kids how to work with the robots. The fact is that the robots are not just coming to take over our jobs, they are coming to be our bosses. So a lot of jobs will not be available in the future. Many jobs will just be wiped out by artificial intelligence. So preparing African kids for this is the goal of the AI school. If you come to think about it, most of them still think that in the next couple of years, there will still be jobs for truck drivers. I'll give you an example. The richest man in Africa is called Dangote, and they said his truck kills more people than HIV/AIDS in Nigeria. What does this mean? The drivers are into drugs. They smoke and then drink and take all sorts of narcotic drugs that are injurious to their health, and at the end of the day, they end up killing people. With my hero's car coming on stream, the cyber trucks and all that, robots are not going to take drugs. They ain't going to kill people. And then if a journey of 7 hours will be 7 hours, because those drivers, they have a couple of girlfriends in the various towns and cities. So when you tell, they'll drive to a certain city, town, and then visit their girlfriend. The robot wouldn't have girlfriend. So a lot of things will have to change. I was in Accra the other time, and I was trying to tell them to take me to the driver to take me to somewhere. He doesn't even know the city, but the robots will have Google Map with him and will take me right there. So the artificial intelligence hub was found to see that Africa do not lose out in the fourth industrial revolution that is powered by artificial intelligence.
Understand. So we just want to know actually how many students you train every year.
Okay, because of the COVID-19, every year we do a lot of training in-house and also outdoors. So if we have to look at the in-house, we say we train about 1,000 in-house. But if we look at the outdoors, we go to churches, we talk to the people, we go to schools and all that, then we're looking at over 100,000. As I talk, there's a boot camp that is going on right now. This boot camp is all about, I'll turn my camera to the back so that you can see some of the kids. Can you see them?
Yes, yes. Yes.
Can you see them? Just wait.
Yes, we are seeing.
Actually, can you see some of our kids?
Yes, exactly.
We're actually doing our boot camp on Introduction to Robotics 1.0 #takeover. We're trying to introduce kids here to robotics. Because like I said earlier, the robots are not just coming to take over our jobs, they are coming to be our bosses. So getting young people to understand how to work with robots is part of our goal. So we started this last week. Today is day 8. And after this, we hope to do many more. We want to train people on future job skills. So the clinic works round the clock to prepare young people for the future job. The world is changing. As a result of COVID-19, lots of people have to work from home. Now, if you watch very well, you find out that the billionaires are making more money at this time. Then Jeff Bezos, then Bill Gates are making more money when people are at home. Reason why? They're making use of robots. And I tell you the truth, they wouldn't want us to come back to normal. They're ready to pay taxes on robots than on humans. Because the robots will not get tired. The robot will not ask for sick leave. The robot will not urinate. All those cheap excuses humans bring will not be there. And when this happens, people are suggesting the UBI, Universal Basic Income. But this is very much un-African. Our people are not ready for this. You can't give an African man the same money you give to his wife. Then respect will not be there. So I think in all this, Africa will be worse hit. If you look at my locality today, all the people, most businesses have closed. And all we see are tricycles and shops. Almost everyone's selling the same thing. They're either selling clothes or water or drinks. They ain't making any profits. And if you ask them, they will say it is corruption that is the cause. I told them no. The importer has realized that it is cheaper to import than to produce. When you produce, you have a lot of headache. Getting workers to site, running diesel and all that, you get so much troubles. So it is easier to import. Where are they importing from? They're importing from China. Now, who should be more scared? The population of India is more than the whole of Africa. The population of China is more than the whole of Africa. But the bulk of them are reskillable. We said that the illiterates of the 21st century will not be people who cannot read and write, but will be people who cannot learn, unlearn everything they have learned, and relearn. So my message to my people is that they must prepare to unlearn everything they have learned and relearn new things at any given time. In Japan, we call it Kaizen, continuous improvement. You continue to improve on whatever you have been doing. and find better ways out of it. Just as 9/11 changed the world, COVID-19 is changing the world. Lots of jobs will be dropped. So many jobs will, the airline industry is dropping, so many jobs will be lost. The new jobs will be jobs that will be working in line with the robots. So the clinic is all founded to begin to propagate this message, to tell people about this message, and then teach them. We've been doing the talk, now we are walking the talk.
Very good. One thing, because we want to get some feedback from your students. Like, can you get, like, any of your, like, you have many students, we saw. We want to see them, we want to observe them, or what they learn from you. Can you give us some feedback?
Sure. Yes, they can talk to you right away.
Okay, great.
You just quickly introduce yourself and
Yes.
tell them what you have learned.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. Even few of your students join with us, we will be very happy. Hello. Can you introduce yourself and what you learning from Mr. Kelvin?
Hello.
Yes. Can you hear me?
My name is David
Yes.
Egua,
Yes.
and
Yes. Yes. Okay.
I'm
So what's your name? So what you learn from his school? How you changing the lives? Can you share with us?
yes. My name is David, and I'm learning introduction to robotics AI. In short, we're just learning how to connect some wires to make the motor work, and how I make robots in small pieces and in large.
Okay, very good. Can you introduce few of your friends?
So,
Can you, Mr. Kelvin, can you hear me? Like, we want to see your students. Mr. Kelvin.
Not just me.
He wants to see everyone.
Yes, we want to see everyone. If they say hello, we want to say hello, no problem.
So just bend the camera. Can you see them? Just wait.
Yes, 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 yes. Hello. Hello.
Say hello.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Hi. Hello, everyone. How is Africa? How are you?
Let me. How is Africa? Repeat.
How is Africa? How are you?
Asana.
Well, fine. Africa's fine.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. My name is Joshua.
Very good, very good. Hello, everyone. How are you? Hello, everyone. How are you? Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dear audience, actually, this is the beautiful things I want to share with you, because you know Mr. Kelvin
What?
actually. Yes, no. Can you hear me?
I'm coming. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Kelvin. Basically, I just discussed it with the audience. This is the beautiful thing of Mr. Kelvin. He has a lot of passion. He is very hardworking man. He is very honest. He is very dedicated, and he already promote himself in World Economic Forum and many of the brilliant platform. He's very nice man, and he's a dedicated, and he is changing Africa. He is changing Africa with his passion. He is changing Africa with his hard work. He is changing many of the human beings, and he has many students in Africa. So those people actually say that we have this challenge, that challenge. You should learn from Mr. Kelvin, because Mr. Kelvin has lot of obstacles, lots of challenges, and from the challenges and everything he overcome from his situation. Already, Mohammad Shohel Rana, Humaira Tanzila, and many of the audience, they give you thanks. So please continue, Mr. Kelvin. We want to know your story. How you build up your school? What type of challenges you face? How you overcome from this situation? These things we want to know from you.
Yeah, yeah. You see, I'm actually in the rural part of Niger Delta of Nigeria. You see, in this part of Nigeria, this is not like the big cities like Lagos and Abuja. You see, power is a huge problem. Google has tried to train people on coding and programming, but they failed. Why did they fail? They failed because they felt they could just give us content without laptop,
Mhm,
content without data,
mhm,
content without power. So I
mhm,
said, no, I was part of the program and nobody from my state was able to pass. So I said, I want to change that. How do I change it? Let me create an environment whereby I can provide them constant power, where we could provide data, where we could also provide laptop for people who genuinely wants to learn, and also get them tutors who will tutor them and learn. You see, coding and programming is a very expensive thing. It
mhm,
cost about $1,000 for 4 days in Lagos. But
mhm,
our people here cannot afford that. But they
mhm,
need to learn the skills. So I decided to come in. By coming in, I to say that our people get this knowledge almost for free.
mhm,
We
mhm,
created a center where we provide power for them. We
mhm,
created a center where we provide data, where we
mhm,
provide them
mhm,
laptops and even food for them to learn. You
mhm,
see, this boot camp would
mhm,
have cost a lot of $1,000 to people in Lagos, but they are
mhm,
learning almost for free.
mhm,
So
mhm,
the whole idea is to see that
mhm,
these skills is made available to the poorest of poor. So if
mhm,
you ask me of my challenge, I
mhm,
face a lot of challenges. And one
mhm,
of them is in organizing boot camps like this. You have
mhm,
to run on fuel, buy fuel, data. You can see how the line is breaking up and down. There was a time I was spending as much as $500 every 2 months on data.
mhm,
Now, when you include the students, that means you'll be spending more than $750 every month. But you must
mhm,
provide them data if they must learn.
mhm,
Also, we lack laptops. Then
mhm,
Lego parts.
mhm,
We want to start building drones, but we don't have the equipment. So we're looking for all this kind of support so as to keep this clinic running.
mhm,
Again, travel and exposure. I've spent a
mhm,
lot of money traveling. I just came back from Ethiopia last year. I need to travel and see how things are being done overseas. If I
mhm,
get all the supports, I think I will be
mhm.
able to drive this goal of mine.
Very good, brilliant. We want to know more. Like example, do you get any first world support, or what you talking about, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundations, or any of the support for your school,
Not
or
yet,
you build
not
up by?
yet,
Okay,
not
okay,
yet.
or
I've not gotten anyone.
okay, okay,
And I
okay. So,
must say that it's not just going to be about funds. You
mhm,
see, I would also want experts in their
mhm,
various fields to do Skype training with my kids.
mhm,
You
mhm.
understand? Though I have been getting some, but I would want more of it. And
Mhm,
then I want to see how some one or two persons can say, well, I'm giving you, linking you up to these organizations, giving you 10 laptops, 15 laptops. Well, I will sponsor the next boot camp on artificial intelligence, on machine learning. We'll do this training Skypes online. I'm sending you some Lego part. These are the things we're talking about.
okay, very good, brilliant. So, like example, how many students you have right now?
For now, we have 20 because of the government's restriction. We'll do it, we schedule it 20 at a time. You
Mhm.
understand? Government
Yes.
say we shouldn't gather more than 20. So 20 will just gather, and later during the next half hour, another 20 will come. So I told you we have 200 running.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Very good. Like you only do work in Nigeria or other country as well?
The goal is to drive it to other countries. So for now, we're basically in Nigeria. But then I also, the other time I did a Skype call with kids in South Sudan. I've been doing some talk here and there. I just came back from Ghana 2 years ago, a year ago rather, which we did a lot of talk here and there. So the goal is to spread it because Africa must wake up. With AI will emerge two super rich countries, Silicon Valley and Beijing. Africa will just become poorer. And in AI lies the ability for us to end global problems. So I want to be given a platform, not just money, like I said, like your platform now is very good. I need big media organizations to feature me so I can talk to more people, tell them what I want, and they see how this message is spread around Africa.
Understand. Like example, Africa has many underprivileged people. So how you bring your students, how you convince your their parents to join in your school?
I do a lot of talk, at a particular time when you begin to say the things artificial intelligence is doing, people see you as antichrist. The church will rise against you because artificial intelligence has a lot of wonderful things in it. When I tell them that with AI, you can end aging, that you never grow old again, they look up, wow, this young man, where have you? Have you gone to join one occult or the other? I said, no, I'm still very much a Christian, but the fact remains that a lot of things are happening today that were practically unthinkable before. Just some few days ago, NASA and my hero Elon Musk launched to space. You understand? So a lot of wonderful things. So I've been talking to them. They've known me for a long time now. And yet I'm getting students. They're bringing in their students. It's just that their problems are much. The economy has collapsed. They can't, most of them, even when I offer them free lessons, I still have to give them lunch. Even on that, they still don't have money to pay their transport to the office. Sometimes I have to augment, I'm in a very poor rural setting. So the problems are too much just for me to carry on my own.
One thing I'm very interested, already I see some of your students. Do you have something that they produce like robot or anything?
Before now, it has been the Ogba Educational Clinic. And the Ogba Educational Clinic was basically training them for university and encouraging science education. On May 16, that's about 3 weeks ago, we launched the Artificial Intelligence Hub. So after that, last week, we started with Introduction to Robotics 1.0. So we're taking it one step at a time. After this, we'll move to, right now, they are trying to produce some robots, but we're trying to do the basics for them.
Like example, is it possible? I know you have some restrictions and other things. How you taking class? Because in Facebook, I saw you promote your classrooms and these things. My audience can see your classroom, how you work with your students, practically how you involve. Is it possible? Because we are interested about you, about your school.
Yes, it's possible. We're doing some video sessions here and there. As we're talking, they are learning there.
Okay, there is one of the question from audience. He's Araf Mehraz. He said, Mr. Kelvin, can you tell us in which project are you working now and how did you manage the fund? Do you have any specific project and how you manage your fund?
This is the first robotic boot camp. It's tagged Introduction to Robotics 1.0. So for now, the funding I got, it's too minimal to run this, but then I have to get going. I just have to get going. To me, I just have to get going. Because you have to not just feed them. Sometimes you have to pay their transport. You have to buy fuel. You have to buy data, running all these costs together. So this is our first robotic boot camp. At the end of the weekend, we should be able to tell you what we are building. Quickly, the robotic guy is here. Maybe he's going to lead the cat out of the ball. They want to know what you are building. What exactly will they build at the end of the day?
A robotic arm.
It said a robotic arm. We are trying to build a robotic arm that will be able to pick up stuff around.
Very good, very good, very good, brilliant, brilliant. Well, send our regards to all of your students, like
Sure.
Mr. Shohan Rana, Humaira Tanjila, Mr. G. Saroj, Arak Mehraj, everybody actually send their regards to your schools and your kids. We are very happy to see your
Okay.
school and other things. So, what's your vision? How you want to contribute the human being? What's your target?
My vision is to domesticate artificial intelligence in Africa and see that my people do not lose out in the fourth industrial revolution that is powered by artificial intelligence. So I hope if I can get enough funds, I can replicate what I have here in the major cities and slums in Africa. First, I need a vigorous campaign to tell kids to embrace science, especially artificial intelligence. You see, we must take power from these corrupt politicians. In America, power belongs to the technocrats, the Elon Musk, the Bill Gates, the Jeff Bezos. They dictate to the politicians.
Understand. So, okay,
But in Nigeria, in most of Africa, but in Nigeria and in most of Africa, power belongs to the politicians who bring up stupid policies.
No problem. We respect all of the politicians.
Who bring up stupid policies that do not help to promote science.
Okay, okay. We appreciate all of the contribution of the human being. We are actually want to collaborate with the science and technology. That's we are discussing. So anyway, so I want to go for the next level. So you think that at present African COVID-19 situation is controlled, or it's stable condition, or it's like it's deteriorating? What's the present condition of Africa?
I wouldn't say it's deteriorating.
Okay,
I would say there's a lot of fraud to it because we can't really see the patients. When we see COVID-19 in the US, in Italy, we see them with ventilators and all that. But what we hear here is that some are just in one place, and when they come out, they say, well, all they had was malaria drugs and there's nothing much. They're just okay. So it makes us begin to wonder if there's something in the African man that is different from the white man.
Okay, understand. Okay, we want to know about African culture, about African peoples. Can you share with the African cultures, African peoples, their lifestyle?
Mostly they are deeply religious people. They polygamous in nature. I want to say they are hardworking, but in a wrong way. And but basically, their major problem is they are too religious. Religion has actually made them not to think and do things in a modern way. History had it that the same year South Korea gained independence, the Ghanaians gained independence. While the Ghanaians went to pray, the South Koreans went to work. And that today South Korea is a first world nation, Ghana is a third world nation. So these are the kind of things you see when people become too excessively religious rather than embracing science. So those are the major challenges in Africa. You still have, I tell people, because of their polygamous nature, and again, the other major problem I see in Africa is that people tend to have kids anyhow. It is very difficult to see a white woman to have kids for a man that has no job. Have one kid, have two kids, have three kids. I've not heard it. No matter how promiscuous and stupid the woman is, she wouldn't do that. But here in Africa, you see somebody who you know that this man did not have a job. You're having 10 kids for the person so that the children come up to suffer. Fine, I'm fine. We still have some wonderful people in Africa like me who are saying, no, we can change the spectrum.
Very good. So, example, why you choose this challenging way? Because developing AI and these things in Africa is very challenging because of financial part and everything. So, why you choose this challenging way?
I've always been a lover of science, and there's someone South Korea and said when he went to South Korea, he saw kids using the microscope, doing programming and lots of scientific invention. And when he came to Africa, he saw our kids praying. So he
Mm-hmm.
said that in Africa, we teach our kids to pray to God. In South Korea, they teach their kids that they are gods. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, I've always been pained that my continent is backward. And that has been my driving force to see how we can undo this. And when we look at the history of China, of how it was able to lift nearly 1 billion people out of extreme poverty in the 80s, I think they did that because of they invested massively in science.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I woke up. I said, well, Africa needs to wake up. So when we started Introduction to Robotics 1.0, take hashtag takeover, we should
Mm-hmm.
prepare them for this change. They don't know what is happening. They just assume this. No, 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 no. Our generation will end the reign of people like Dangote, being the richest person on earth. Tech is the future.
Very good. So, how you getting support from your community?
So we
Do
want to
they
change
support
all
you?
that. I
Yes.
know it's difficult. I know it's expensive. Have I have exhausted all my finances, everything I put into it. I beg teachers to teach for me for free. I beg people online. What
Okay, very good. So, like example, like what do you think about the future of
for my local community? Yeah, they are basically not too rich people. The government would only begin to give you some support when they see you are so big. But then I'm not looking forward to them. I'm looking forward to goodwill people. I have some friends abroad who once in a while support me with laptops and all that. I just got 2 laptops last month.
understand? So I think there is some internet problem. Basically, he live in a rural area. So he again joined with us. Mr. Kelvin, can you hear me?
Your question again.
Yes. No. Basically, like example, what do you think? What will be the future of your students? How you develop them? How they can contribute?
Okay, we hope very soon we will be able to take these kids for international competitions abroad. We also look towards networking with big organizations abroad where they can go and do internship, maybe 6 months or 1 year. We want to do exchange programs. We also want to see how kids in Europe, Canada, Asia can come in here to teach and learn with our kids. So that's the future. We want to see that they are positively engaged and they become the drivers of tomorrow's economy.
Understand. So economically, like example, what is the prospect of Africa? Even now, COVID-19 and many things, we exactly want to know the economic condition of Africa at present. What's going on?
Okay, economic wise, the economy is collapsing. First, Africa used to boast of natural resources. Apart from COVID-19, with the coming of AI, natural resources become something totally useless. So Africa will become poorer and poorer and poorer and poorer. So my goal is that these young kids can begin to change the atmosphere of business here. That's exactly what we're doing. Like now, I try to have an economy that is outside the economy of Nigeria because I know the economy of Nigeria is crashing. So there's what we call digital nomads. These digital nomads, these are tech experts. They'll just be in a place like in Indonesia. This island is a beautiful island. They'll be enjoying themselves and working for Facebook and working for Microsoft. That's how the future work is. Twitter, Facebook is telling workers to work from home. So basically, if you can design an app that makes people not to visit the hospital, you'll be making your money. So economic-wise, Africa economy is falling because it is based on natural resources. Why is India making hell of money today? Because a lot of the tech experts in US, in Europe are Indians, and they bring in dollars to India. That's exactly what we want to do. We want to be able to create tech experts here that will export around the world, that will be bringing in dollars to Africa.
At present, actually, how many people in Africa? How many people live in Africa? At present, how many people?
Africa is less than 1 billion.
Okay. So
some
from
say it's
there,
about 700 million, but it's less than 1 billion people.
okay, how many percentage of them actually young, like your kids, like less than 20 years old?
My kids, let's say 50% are less than 20 years.
Oh, okay, good. So there is a huge amount of people.
Some are.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, very interesting. So, okay. And another important thing is that, like example, even though you have a lot of challenges and other things, if some of the organizations support you, so how you utilize this support, or what type of support you need, or how the other organizations can help your organization? Can you share? Can you share me?
Now, one of my biggest need is power. Solar has been suggested, but so far the solar that is here has been ineffective. I spend a lot of money buying fuel to run my generator. Then the next biggest challenge is equipment to work with. We need things like projector, we need sound system, we need laptops. Then the next biggest challenge is data, because these kids need data to work with. This costs us a hell of money. So these are the three biggest challenges. Then after that, we'll look at, if I get funding, I would want my funding to be splitted.
Mr. Kelvin, can you hear me? Sorry, dear audience, actually, he is from a remote area, and that's why he is facing a lot of challenges to connected with us. So, yes, please continue.
Thank you. So the next biggest challenge is data. Data costs us a lot here. You can see that it's breaking up and down. We spend a lot of money, and the data doesn't just last. So again, we're looking at getting equipments, robotic kits. We want to begin to produce drones. So we want those things to be coming up and down for us. We want to see how we could get Lego parts and where we can train people on all these skills. So I'll be investing whatever funds I get in getting a reliable source of power, in getting laptops, in getting data, in getting projector, in getting sound equipment, and also to feed them during the program. Because we stay here for a long time. They come in about 9 a.m. in the morning and go about 5 p.m. in the evening. We don't just teach them robotics and artificial intelligence. We also try to look at their mathematics and their English and the basic sciences like physics, chemistry. So we try to give them an all-round knowledge knowing fully where they are still going to secondary schools and about to go to university.
Okay, okay, understand. So basically, this is very nice experience. So so you have a very good visions. So for the youth of the around the world, do you have any specific suggestion, advice, or anything for our audience?
Sure, to young people, I say embrace AI, embrace it wholeheartedly, invest in artificial intelligence, leverage on artificial intelligence. If you leverage on artificial intelligence, you become better in everything you do. AI is affecting every sector of humanity. It's going to cost, I call it a monstrous AI. It is the single most important tool humanity has conceived.
Sorry, dear audience. Today there are a lot of challenges because this man actually trying his level best to engage with us. But I think that there are some issues.
It is more important than fire and electricity put together. In it lies the power to give the same kind of education that the people in Harvard to the poor people of the streets of Warri. In it have the power to give the same kind of healthcare that the people in Canada to the poor people in Warri. So I say invest on artificial intelligence.
So example, if lot of artificial intelligence comes to, and lot of integration it has with different industry, do you think that African people lose their jobs and lose their position?
Already they're already losing their jobs, but they don't know why. So that's why I do a wake-up call. When I started talking about artificial intelligence, many told me that these things will only happen abroad. It would take 50 years to get here. I say, okay. I launched my artificial intelligence hub, and the very next week I started my boot camp on robotic introduction to robotics takeover, because I want to put to work what I have been talking. I want to walk my talk. Now that I've started teaching them how to produce robotic arms, then let them come and tell me that it will take 50 years. It is happening now. Africans will lose their jobs.
So what's the solution?
The future is only for people who are prepared. If you are not prepared for the future, the solution is for us to rethink education. Is for us to leverage on artificial intelligence. Very soon, I will soon go to the extent of breaking down AI into small courses that can be taught in schools. We need to tell young people about future jobs, how it has changed.
So you are talking about future. So what you think that future of Africa? But we believe that Africa has a lot of resources, lot of peoples, lot of good cultures. But still, even there are a lot of improvement in Africa happening. But what your practical experience about Africa?
What I see is that power belongs to people who don't know what to do with power. We have this false pride, natural resources, rich in oil. White man will come to us to collect oil, collect natural resources. Artificial intelligence is changing all this. There's a battery that was produced in China that could be charged in less than 30 seconds. Nobody needs. My hero Elon Musk made us understand that if you're driving a car that is not Tesla in the next 7 years, you are actually driving a horse. So what am I trying to say in all this? Africa needs to wake up. The era of natural resources is gone. Yes, we have a bright future. The people are hardworking, but the people must have to rethink. We must invest on AI. We must put our resources into sciences. We must teach young kids. If you go to China, for instance, you would not see any of the Chinese kids studying abroad, studying something like business administration or accountancy. They are going for purely science courses.
Yes, this is very important. Like getting actually World Talent Economy Forum, we are basically focused on science, technology, even though economics and management also our focus area. But we want to bring all of the talented people. So through your process, maybe we will bring more talented guys from Africa. We will discuss here. We will arrange a program for Africa, and hopefully you will coordinate us, you will represent us, and then we can make a better ecosystems in around the world. And how you actually developing your schools, how you supporting your students, how you motivating your students, and you have a very good mind, brilliant minds, you have a very good mindset. So as you have a positive attitude, World Talent Economy Forums also with you, with your dream, and we want that African peoples, they also gain their success, they also change their life, they also achieve their goals. And as you are working with the young peoples, so young people are actually the future of the world. And what you are talking about, the science and technology, this is the future of the world. So this is very interesting. This is very interesting for us, and this is very nice discussion with you. So this is the conclusion remark. Can you give us some of the conclusion remarks from your side? So thank you. Yes, can you give us a conclusion remark, Mr. Kelvin?
I must say I'm very grateful for this privilege to be a speaker here. And I do hope we can walk this talk, spread this message. I call it a gospel that should be preached all around. I keep talking AI, 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 AI. Even though AI is also very dangerous, my hero said it's not just good. That America shouldn't be scared of North Korea, but should be scared of an untamed AI. What else can I say again? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Calvin. It's a brilliant effort. I
Yes.
know we are sorry that sometimes internet connection is interrupted, but you give your valuable time and give our regards, our love to your students and all of the African peoples. We want to join with your revolutions. We know every beautiful things start with small. Step by step, you
Yes.
will be big, and your student community, your government, everybody gonna support you. So thank you, Mr. Kelvins, and hopefully we're gonna invite you another show in World Talent Economy Forum. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
dear audience. This is we are trying to moving around the world, and we are really sorry because we have a lot of internet challenges. Even somewhere internet is good, somewhere internet is not good, but we will try our level best to move around the world and get the real information, real data, real experience for you guys. Thank you. It's a